What's going on? I wanted to make a video to answer two questions. The first one is, what does a finance coach even do? And the second one is, how do I do it? So as a finance coach, what I'm really looking to do is help you spend your money more in line with your value system. My end goal for every client is to help them live the life that they really want to live and not feel like they're on a diet with their money all the time, right? Like you don't want to be thinking about it, you don't want to be worried about it, but you also want to live life. And that costs money. So how do we mix the two? That's what I work with people on. Now, in doing this, I've created a program, and it usually takes people 6 or so months to get through the program, but fundamentally it changes the way they do absolutely everything with money, from how they think about it to how they spend it to literally what is happening with it day to day, the accounts that they're using, all that kind of fun stuff. So to give you a really quick walkthrough, the first thing that I do is I work with them on mindset, right? We're gonna take responsibility. We're gonna understand that our actions affect the outcome of our situation a lot more than the price of gas, right? So owning it and saying, I'm gonna take the actions and I'm gonna do different tomorrow to make tomorrow better, that's gonna really help stabilize everything as opposed to sort of blaming the world. And then after that, like very quickly after that, we are planning ahead, we're getting clarity on where all of the money is going. We start to say, okay, what bills do we have coming up? How can we stabilize some of this spending on things and really understand what is happening, where the money is going, all that kind of fun stuff. What this does, and this is absolutely crucial, it takes away the stress of money day to day. Right? So instead of, I know I have 1 week, it's like the middle of the month, I get hit with every single bill that I got, and it doesn't matter what my paycheck is, I'm losing money just because of the bills. Well, if I've planned ahead, then it doesn't really matter when the bills hit because they're getting paid and my account isn't affected. The amount of money that I have day to day for spending on things doesn't change. This is really critical. It takes all the stress out of your money and you kind of go, okay, we can breathe now, and then we can look at other topics to really, how do we improve it, right? And so from there, we dive into what I like to call your relationship with money. And a lot of people don't really think about it this way, but people do crazy things with money, and it's usually because of the way that they feel about money or something that happened in their past. And especially with couples, I'll see a lot of times they don't understand why someone's doing something else. You'll get somebody who's constantly got 3 fridges full of food and all of this, and there's so much waste, and they spend a ton of money on food, and they go out of their way, and they always order too much, and they always do all this other stuff. And the other person's like, why are we doing this? This is a waste of money. It's a waste of food. What are we doing here? And then you come to find out like, well, that person grew up in a house where there wasn't ever food. And they wanted to make sure that their kids never felt that way about food. So they go out of their way and spend money and do this seemingly crazy thing with money to make sure that their kids don't ever feel like, I don't have food and what am I gonna eat? Right? And so doing that really helps cut down on the arguments. It helps people understand each other better. And it's just asking the question why over and over again to understand our relationship with money. And then what we do is we say, okay, what are our actual values in life, right? And does that spending align with our values, or is there a way that we can merge the two so that we get sort of this mutual benefit out of, okay, well, maybe we're spending too much and maybe we can cut back, but not feel like we're violating this principle that we've sort of set up for ourselves. And that's where I bring in values-based spending, right? And this is where, especially when we go to make big cuts and things like that, and we talk about like cutting all the streaming services and doing this and doing that, and maybe we don't need to go buy a house immediately, maybe we don't need to do this. It's understanding our value system that doesn't make it feel like we're not allowed to spend money. It's where you're going, no, I'm purposefully putting my money into what is important to me, into my values. And that is absolutely critical, because once we've got the stress taken out of it and we start to make these moves, then you start to feel like, oh, now I'm really making progress on my goals. And I don't feel like I'm on a diet with my money. I feel like I'm just living my life the way that I want to live it, and I'm making more progress than I was before. After that, it's automate and invest. How can I automate all of your bills, everything that's getting paid, so that you don't think about money any more than you absolutely have to? Most people don't want to sit around thinking about their money. They just want it to happen. And when it comes to stuff like that, it's like, okay, how many, auto pay, bill pay, bank pay, whatever they are, how many things can we set up to be automatically done? And how do we structure it so that you don't even see it happening or have to worry about it happening? You just know that it's working. And then we can do the same thing with investing. And then I start talking through them with, investing for themselves, investing for their kids, what works, what kind of strategy they want to think about. This is obviously very individualized based on whether or not they have kids, if they're an individual or a couple, how old are they, all this kind of fun stuff, and figuring out something that works for them and fits within their values and what their financial goals are. Now, all of that takes 6 or so months to work through with people. And it's really because I don't want to jam too much money together and have us just talking about money all day, every day. But I did want to create something that would take that 6 months and shorten it up. And, I get the request a lot that one-on-one coaching is a little bit too expensive, right? And I can show you the value. I mean, we're talking about money and math. I can show you the value and why it is what it is. But okay, so how do I lower the price point on it and still create that structure and that foundation and help people, build that foundation so that they can continue to get long-term success and long-term growth? And so what I did was I took my one-on-one coaching and I shoved it down into a 6-week course. And it's self-paced. My goal with it, I'm going to have weekly calls to get people set up and going, and have, check-in calls and accountability calls to make sure that people are doing what they need to. But you're going to have access to all the videos for whatever your timing is. I do get this request a lot. Like, there's no time slot available. They're in a different time zone. They work the night shift, whatever the situation is, they can't fit within my schedule. So then, okay, how do I work with those people that can't fit within my schedule? And here we are, right? So if I can give you a call that's recorded and you get access to the recording, you're not going to feel bad watching it 10 times either and feeling like I'm having to repeat myself. So you can go through it, and it's, I'm calling it my 6-week values-based spending money makeover. It is the first week we go through starting the conversation, planning tomorrow, doing all of these things. It's very fun activities that we don't dive into the math immediately, right? It's like, what do we want tomorrow to look like? And then how do we back into what our goals should be and what our action should be? That's week 1. Week 2, we start to map where the money's coming and going and see how in alignment with those goals, we're actually spending our money. And then we bring our values into it, right? And week over week, we're just building on other topics. And then from there, we go through and we build strategies to get ourselves from where we are to where we want to be. And then we build the framework to automate and invest and do all of these things so that we don't have to think about it. And we know that we're getting to our goals, whether we're trying to get there or not. And so my goal with this in 6 weeks is to completely overhaul the way that you look at money, talk about money, think about money, and just totally flip your world around and get you moving towards where you want to be very quickly. And over long term, you will be able to implement and hold all of it so that you are successful and you continue to be successful after the 6 weeks. So in doing all of that, I'm launching this course right now. It starts February 5th. I am taking on like founding members. I need people to really help me. This is all going to go into an app. It's going to be all recorded. You're going to get access to all this other fun stuff. But, I need help understanding what's working and what's not. It's a remote environment with a group of people as opposed to one person. So what's going to work better? What explanation works better, right? I know what works when I'm sitting with a client because I can read the client, but here it's a little bit different. So I want to make sure that what I build for this course is going to be as effective as possible and help you get as much progress and as much growth out of it as I can. Now, for all of my founding members coming in, there's a bunch of other stuff that I'm giving away with it. Obviously, you get the group coaching calls, so it's accountability. You're gonna make quick progress. You can ask questions, bounce ideas off of it, hear other people ask questions and go, oh, I never thought about that. Maybe I can implement that as well, right? So the group coaching calls are gonna be huge. You're gonna get access to every single worksheet that my one-on-one clients get. And I want the feedback on it. If there's something that you were looking for that I don't have, I will make it for you. But you're going to get access to all of my budgeting projections and planning and spending templates, all of my activities and worksheets to help you sit down with your spouse and talk about money and do all of these things that most people don't do day to day or don't know how to do, right? So it's like to be self-paced and self-guided, but you get access to a ton of content to help you with it. After that, I'm going to set up a community on Facebook that is going to be my value finders community because it's values-based spending. So this is going to be a group of people that can help you celebrate the wins, help you through the hard times, help you understand a concept that maybe you're not grasping immediately or just bounce ideas off of. I don't know everything, right? And so there's going to be people in situations that are going to be similar to yours and they're going to say, hey, I tried this and it worked. You should give it a go, right? And that community is going to be absolutely crucial. But also with this, any of my initial founding members, again, this course starts on February 5th. Any of my initial founding members get a lifetime discount to everything that I put out. And I've already got courses lined up for kids, specifically about investing, going about buying houses, cars, those big ticket things, like niche topics. I want to dive into those as well. And this course is really going to help you get structured and get the framework set up so that you can always make good financial success, but you're going to get a lifetime discount to anything else that I come out with that would help you in all of these other areas of your sort of financial life, right? So I am very excited about it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Obviously, the idea here is that long after that 6 weeks, you get long-term success and you continue to grow and you continue to engage with the community. And then, no joke, my founding members are going to be those people that walk in feeling lost and confused and walk out helping other people because they figured it out as well. And that is the level of confidence that I want everyone that does this course to have. And it's coming at a massively discounted price. If you want to know more information, you can book a call with me or shoot me a question and we can set up some time to talk about it. It is obviously very limited because I only want a small group to initially get this off the ground, but I am super excited. So again, please let me know if you have any questions, and otherwise, have a great day.